My name is Hannah, and this is my year of less stuff. Hey y'all, so I am trying to film every day right now if I can and post almost every day just to stay connected to you guys and also to kind of help myself be more productive, feel more productive, to stay focused on like a kind of productivity and a kind of work that's still relevant right now with all that's going on around the world. And I've kind of just been going off the cuff. Yesterday, I didn't know what I was going to film all day, and then when I got home from my workplace, which is just a short walk from where I live, and Joe and I have been able to just walk back and forth until now. I'm not sure if we will continue to be able to do that, but thus far we've been able to go to work because it's just us there. We're each other's only coworkers. So when I got back from work yesterday, I impulsively lip swatched all of my bullet lipsticks, and that was the video for today. So I've just kind of been flying by the seat of my pants and doing whatever I feel like. And I hadn't decided yet what I was going to do today. I was thinking of like a new makeup releases chat or something like that. But then this came in the mail. This came in the mail. I'm so excited. I pretty much cried with joy for Samantha when I opened it. I mean, just seeing her picture in here and the words accompanying the picture, it just, I mean, it got me all choked up. It's like so special. I know how special it is to her. She is so sweet. She is so inspiring to me on this platform. She means so much to me. I'm already gushing. I haven't even started the video. This is all just to say that now I know exactly what I'm going to do. I came home, I had a little bit of bronzer on my cheek, so I wiped all of that off and I reapplied sort of just a blank base of a very light little bit of like foundation and concealer mixed together. All I have on are lip balm and mascara, and I'm just gonna play with what's in this box. Samantha March's collab with Ofra. Sorry, I haven't said it out loud. I just assumed that everybody knows. I'm not even necessarily going to do this under the guise of like a first impressions review or like discerning whether or not I want to recommend these products to you. I am just going to self-soothe by playing with this. And for me, this video is more about celebrating Samantha than anything else. I'm going to open these things. I haven't touched them. I haven't taken them out of their little spots in the PR box. So I'm going to open them for the first time with you, just record my experience of enjoying the fact that my beautiful friend has made this beautiful thing. And that is what is going to get us through today. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. I barely even know where to start. I'm going to give you a close-up of the inside of the PR box just so you can see how lovely it is. Everything's nestled into its own little spot. I'm just going to start opening them and looking at them. So this is the highlighter. It's the Start Inspired highlighter, and I've never seen it in person before. It's so pretty. I guess I didn't quite realize that it's a pink and like a champagne mixed together. For some reason, I thought it was like an icier white. I like don't pay attention to things, but for some reason, I thought it was like an icier color and a champagne color mixed together. And the fact that it has a pink is probably going to make it like a better match for my skin, which is really exciting. I think I might glow myself up a little bit with that first, because a lot of times these days with powder highlights, I tend to kind of put them on as a base and then build color on top of that. So this is the thing that I'm the most excited about. It's the blush. When I saw Samantha's video first revealing this collab, as soon as I saw that blush, I was just like, give that to me. Like, it is so pretty. Oh my gosh, and it's just as pretty in person. So I love it because it's got that like richness and depth, especially the shiny side. It's almost like it might even be like a little bit nudie brown. I also love that she called it Chicklet. I think that that would be a stunning name for a blush in any situation, and the fact that it's Samantha's just makes it even better. Yeah, I love the shiny side. And it's interesting, the matte side is, the shiny side is like the color of a blush that I would buy myself. And the matte side, so that's the darker one. And then the matte side is a blush that I don't have anything like it because I tend not to acquire pink blushes. And so it'll be interesting to play around with it. I'm starting to think maybe I want to do like a really bronzy blush drapey glossy look. Like, go big, because I hope a lot of people will be showcasing these products and reviewing them. And of those people, I don't know, maybe someone will do a dramatic blush draping look, but maybe that's what I'll do. I'll like give you something a little bit different. Okay, I'm also really excited about the bronzer. Yeah, because it's got that warmth. It's got that warmth without being orange, and I think I can make it work for me even though I'm so pale. Once again, especially the shimmery side. I have never really gotten to play with that much from Ofra. I have had like a highlighter here and there, but this is exciting to get to really see these pigmented powders. Yeah, the shiny side, which is this one right here, the slightly lighter and glossy side, that's going to be my jam. And I bet I'll also enjoy using them mixed together, but with a bit of a light hand. Oh, Sam, good job with the colors. Good job. I'm so pale that it's often hard for me to wear products that are like made for everyone or universal. A lot of times those universal products exclude me, especially complexion products. So I'm really excited to see, just based on swatches and based on my knowledge of my own complexion, that I think I will be able to make those work. I'm gonna look at the lippies too. Oh, this is the gloss, so pretty. I've been getting really into lip glosses lately. I like how they can complete a look and freshen it up at the same time. And I love a gloss that's like glimmery. I actually kind of want to put this on right now. I just have a little bit of chapstick on, but I think that I can wear this gloss while I'm doing everything else. Okay, the thing that I'm the most excited to report, in addition to the fact that it smells really good and feels really good and doesn't feel gritty at all, even though it's got those micro sparkles in it, the thing that I'm the most excited to report is that I don't have anything like this. I don't have like a clear gloss that has like a slightly icy, almost like blue shifting micro glimmer in it. It's not so blue that it makes my lips look very blue, but it almost makes them look more nude. And I don't have anything like that. I don't have a gloss like that. So that's exciting for me because you know I'm kind of a minimalist maximalist over here. It also feels really nourishing. So I have a swatch of the gloss on my hand, which I'll show you in a second. I'm also going to swatch the liquid lipstick next to it. This is another one. I was worried that it would be like a little bit pink for my taste, but it really has that like nudie mauve to it and almost like a touch of brown in the mix. It doesn't look like a brown lip, but it looks like it has enough brown mixed into the color that it will suit me. Okay, I'm really excited. I'm going to go for the dramatic complexion look, playing with the products, and I'll keep the gloss on right now, and then we'll see, depending on what kind of look I come up with. Maybe I'll put the lipstick on at the end or like try to apply it like a stain or something. I'm going to start with the highlight, just a really light touch, trying to kind of gloss up my cheeks and give myself a kind of glossy base to start with, because I put like a little sheer wash of the Urban Decay Stay Naked foundation on to just give myself a blank slate, and it's so matte. I have like a skin-like finish, but it really has made me feel a bit chalky, and that's not the life that I'm about these days. So I think I'm gonna try to get mostly the pink just to play around, because it's like this double highlighter. I'm gonna try to start with mostly the pink and then layer in some of the champagne. Sorry, I can't remember the names. I think Star Island, no, Pillow Talk is the pink one, and then Star Island is the other one. Oh yeah, so that's really, oh my gosh, it's so intense. It's very glossy and it's very icy. Wow, I really got myself in over my head with that. It is an amazingly bright wet look highlight. So I'm going to start mixing in a little bit of the champagne on top, and I think actually it will, yeah, tone down some of the iciness. Joe has come home and I didn't expect him. Okay, I'm really glad Joe is here, by the way. Now he's just going to be resting, but if you hear bumps going bump in the night, that's what it is. I'm really glad that I went in with the highlight first. I'm going to go over with my pretty much clean complexion brush and really buff that into my skin, because I essentially want it to be, I want that brightness to be like part of my complexion. Yeah, so there we go. It's really like blending it into my skin. I feel like the intensity with which it applied if I were just gonna hit the tips of my cheekbones at the end with that level of intensity, then that would be sufficient. Like, it would be the perfect thing. But in terms of like melting it into my complexion, I want to go a little further than just what happened when I put it on with a highlight brush, because I was pretty much looking like a snowman. But that is great. That has given me that lit from within glow that I was really looking for. It's basically made what was like a matte base or a matte foundation into a glowy base. And now I can go in with the other products on top of that. All right, I was about to go in with this blush on my cheeks, and then I remembered that I want to put some of these powder products on my eyes too. I don't have any eyeshadow on, but I did prime my eyes, and I know that these powders are eye safe, and the plan was to like build sort of a light washy eye look out of them. So I'm actually going to do that next and then draw it down onto my cheeks. So I'm going to take kind of a fluffy Rephr brush, and I think I'm going to start with the bronzer actually. I'm going to start with the matte side of the bronzer. I love the undertones of this. Like every good bronzer, it makes a great all over the lid shade. It makes a really great crease shade or transition shade. I'm going to keep building, and I'm going to mix in some of the shimmery side as well, just to like give it some dimension and see what happens. Yeah, so I'm using some of the shimmer side, almost like gave it a little bit more grip. It's like the particles of luminosity in the shimmery side of the bronzer are more prone to sticking, especially on the eyelid, and less prone to sort of like buffing away into something a little bit softer. So when I started dipping into the side that has some texture in the pan, I started getting a little more depth in my eye. And I'm going to go in with a mix of both of them on my lower lash line as well. All right, I'm going to stick with that for the eyes, but when I'm blush draping, I'm going to bring some of the blush into the eye look as well. So that's almost like just a base for the eyes, and we'll see how it goes from here. Let's dig into this blush. I'm going to use the Rephr 05. It's pretty loose and fluffy, so I feel like, especially if I tap it off, I can get sort of a tender application at the outset and then like build in more pigment if I want to. Given how it went with the highlighter and the bronzer on my eyes, I know that these products really pack a punch, so I'm going to go slow. And I think what I'm going to do is to actually start with the matte side and try to put down like an all-over wash. Yeah, so just tapping it in lightly and then tapping off the brush, I'm really able to get a much, much lighter application. And I love how it's blending with the highlighter. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And I'm actually bringing this kind of across my nose. This is like the all across part, and then I'll go in with the darker colors in more targeted areas. I hope that what I'm seeing in the mirror is translating on camera, but I really, really love the way that my skin looks right now. It just looks so healthy. I want to bring some of this color into my eye look because I feel right now like there are kind of like these two blocks of different shades on these two parts of my face, and I want to blend them together. So I'm going to dip just into that matte shade, and this is the highlighter brush that I used to begin with. I really like using this for like blush draping into my eye look. For some reason, it's like the right size and shape for that. And again, starting just with a light application, and I'm hitting this kind of corner of my eye where the eyeshadow sort of lightly bleeds into the blush, and then I'm drawing it up sort of towards my brow bone. Just adding some dimension, some layering to what's going on the eyes and making it all more cohesive. Okay, so that absolutely could be a finished look, but I'm not going to stop there because I want to use the other parts of the products. I'm going to go into the darker side, the darker and shimmery side of the blush duo, and build like some dramatic sculpting onto my cheeks. This is the part I've been looking forward to the most. And I'm actually going to go in with a slightly smaller, more targeted, but still fluffy brush for this. Look at that. It's like contouring with blush. I feel like it's really reading on camera. As contour does, right? Like reads well on camera and looks bad in real life. This doesn't look bad in real life though, because it's a blush and not an actual shadow color. All right, I definitely want some of this color on my eyes too. I think I want to try to keep it more targeted though in the outer corner. I'm going to take this brush that looks like it might have been used for black, and maybe a little bit of the black that's left on the brush will mix a tiny bit with this and give me even more dimension in my outer corner. So I feel like I might have gotten a tiny bit of like a char from the black on that brush, but really not much at all. There really not much of it came off on my eyes, just a tiny bit of shadowing, but it's mostly the blush that I have in the outer corner giving me some dimension. So we are getting into much more editorial territory now, but I want to put a tiny bit of this bronzer just like right out here. Okay, I feel like that has really given me, and hopefully by extension you, a sense of what these powder products can do. They are incredibly pigmented, the balance of tones is very beautiful, and they're very versatile. I really like the fact that the highlighter held its own even through all of those layers of colored powder. I also know that some of these colored powders have shimmer in them, but I feel like you can still see the glow underneath on my cheeks coming through, and on my nose as well. You can really see like my skin looks super glowy all over, like again that lit from within shining through the pigment glow, and that's because I put down that base of highlighter to begin with and then buffed it into my skin. I have had this mascara on since this morning, and I want to refresh that, add a little bit of more mascara. I also want to do a couple things to brighten up the eye look. I'm going to put a little bit of liner in my waterline and maybe just a touch of like a dark brown powder in the outer corner to define it even more. Okay, there are those things done. I want to do one more thing on the eyes actually, which is to take some of this highlighter on my fingers and just like press it over the look to try to get like a glossy lid look. And I'm gonna mix the colors together, the two colors and the highlighter together for this. I really like how that kind of brightened up the lids and gave them some dimension, especially tapping it onto my brow bone and like the inner third of my lids going towards the inner corner. These products are really fun to play with. I kind of want to just like keep applying them and keep applying them, but I know that I already have an incredibly strong, shiny, blushy look on, so I'm going to stick with that. I want to put the lipstick on. Let me tell you about this. First of all, I really like the color. I feel like it has that kind of bitten, wind whipped, sensual shade about it. I don't own any liquid lipsticks. I don't usually wear them. I guess I have the one that I kept from the Alter Ego release. This, like it, has that incredibly light, almost moussey formula that's malleable. So I'm able to sort of soften the edges, like buff out the edges and get that slightly popsicle stained, blurred look that I like in a lip. I don't like a sharp lip line, so liquid lipsticks that are designed only for a sharp lip line and nothing else, the ones that you can't really work with to smudge and shape and blur, I can't deal with those because I just don't apply them in the way that they're meant to be applied. I understand why there are people who say that the Ofra liquid lipstick formula is like the best one of all time. I think that this is even thinner and more lightweight than the one that I kept from Alter Ego, and I was really impressed by that formula. So that's great. That makes this wearable for me. And I can feel it going through a phase of being a little bit sticky, which I know means that it's drying down to be budge proof. And it feels like it won't take that long. It feels like it's almost pretty much dry, and I just know not to like mess with it too much during that sticky phase. But there was a phase during which I was able to keep messing with it and getting the aesthetic that I like. And I find that if I didn't get as blurred a lip line as I wanted with a lipstick like this that sets down, an option is during this slightly sticky phase or even after it is completely set down to again go with like a pretty clean complexion brush or one that might have remnants of whatever you used when you're putting on your base, and to go around the edges and just like soften, buff a little bit. it makes the application end up looking a bit more natural. Okay, I cannot stop looking at myself in the mirror, but I think I need to wrap up this video. It's been a long time since I did a blush draping look, and this one is a doozy. I'm particularly pleased by how glowy it is. I love that glossiness. It's glossy, but it's not enhancing texture. And then those rich colors, those rich, like fleshy colors. It's just all working really well for me. You know, before we go, there's one more thing I want to do. I want to put more of the bronzer on. This look is pretty pink. Not even, it's pretty mauve. It's pretty like sheeny mauve. I want to see if putting more of the bronzer on is going to make it look like a more brown look. I want to see if I can like take it there. I didn't do this before because I didn't want to take away from the effect of the blush colors. But now that the video is pretty much over, I feel like I can. This is like true makeup playtime behavior. Oh yeah, so both in the mirror and in the monitor, it's looking like a really intense editorial, deeper blush. And to me, with my complexion, bronzer is really just like another color of blush. And that's how I'm treating it. And I really, really like this look. This almost makes me feel like I might reach for the bronzer in here more than I don't know if I can say that. It makes me feel like I'm gonna reach for the bronzer duo as a blush as frequently as I reach for the actual blush. I'm just taking this brush that I used for the blush to kind of like buff it out and soften the shine a little bit. It looks great in the mirror. It looks a little intense in the monitor. I'm not sure how it's gonna look on camera. Yeah, color-wise, I really like that. It's almost like a little bit more haute, a little bit more like, you know, a little bit more snatched. I'm gonna go now. This was so much fun. Samantha, thank you so much for sending your collab to me. And Ofra, thank you so much for sending Samantha's collab to me. Congratulations, both of you. It's glorious. Very, 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 very well done. And being able to just play with these products and talk about them was exactly what I needed on this glum day. I hope that it was also useful for some of you out there. I hope that you just enjoyed hanging out with me while I played with makeup. And I hope that it gives you some time to play with some of your own makeup. And I hope that it showed you what you have been wanting or needing to know about this collab if it's something that you're interested in. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.